Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is SAT Writing and Language Crash Course Day 1. We're on Part 2 now, come back from a little break. And we have just been introduced to the rules for writing, and we are applying them right now. So let's get right back to the test. Okay, we finished number 3. Let's go to question number 4. And who did that last one? Was that you, Drew? You did the last one?
No.
That was William?
I think so.
Okay. Jonathan, are you back yet, buddy? No? Oh, you are?
Yep.
Okay, good. Jonathan, why don't you go and let's roll with question number 4. So I guess we're going to take it from although employees. Okay?
Okay. Although employees who sleep on the job are often considered lazy and unproductive, napping in the workplace has been shown to improve workers' efficiency and quality of life. As long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers and managers, should champion napping as means to keep employees happy, healthy, and functional.
Okay. Okay. Jonathan, how does that underlined portion sound to you?
That work?
It sounds good? What rule are we being tested on?
Commas.
Yeah, we've been tested on commas and semicolon, primarily commas, right? So it's punctuation. What's the rule on commas? Does anybody have that handy, the comma rule?
It says use commas whenever you need a brief pause. If you don't need a brief pause, leave it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then don't use a comma to separate two standalone statements. Let's test that here. Is that a good use of the comma, Jonathan? Read it again. Pay attention to make sure you take a pause where the comma is. You've got to read it the way it's written. Go and read it again.
Still not working.
Can you hear me, Jonathan?
You don't hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, my
You're good.
earbuds are being weird.
You're good. So read it again from as long as companies.
No.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Jonathan? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna pass it on to somebody else here. Sharon. Can you hear me, Sharon?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and read
Yes.
that sentence here beginning with as long as companies.
Okay.
And make sure you take a pause where that comma is after workers. Okay?
Okay. As long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers and managers. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah,
Should champion napping as a means to keep employees happy, healthy, and functional.
Okay. Let's do this. I want to approach it a different way. Let's see if we can eliminate any obviously incorrect answer choices. Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's do that. I think we can easily eliminate some of these. B is going to be really easy to test because what's the rule on semicolons? When do we use semicolons, guys?
To connect two related statements that can still stand on their own.
Yeah. So we've got to have two standalone statements. So let's just see if we have two standalone statements for answer choice B. Okay. Go ahead and Sharon plug in answer choice B, and we'll see if we have two standalone statements.
Okay. As long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers.
Okay, stop. Is that a standalone statement there?
No.
Sharon, is that a standalone statement?
No.
It's not, right? You're like, okay, well, as long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers, okay, what about it, right? It's just not, no. So I don't even need to read the second one. I can already eliminate answer choice B. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So B is gone. Let's test answer choice C. Go ahead and plug that in. Now make sure you take a pause wherever there's a comma, Sharon.
Okay. As long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers, managers should champion napping as a means to keep employees happy, healthy, and functional.
How does that sound, Sharon?
Also weird.
Did you say that's weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad, right? I mean, you just don't need a pause after managers. You just You just don't.
Mhm.
It's awful. Okay, great. So B and C are gone. Good. It's either A or D. Go ahead and read D.
D, you said?
D, yeah, as in dog. Yeah.
Okay. As long as companies continue to demand long hours from workers, managers should champion napping as a means to keep employees happy, healthy, and functional.
Okay. How's that?
That sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good. What's better, A or D?
I think D.
What do you guys think, A or D?
D.
It's D, absolutely. Yeah. You don't need that and. It's just kind of weird, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I really love thinking in terms of eliminating incorrect answer choices. I love it. And and especially if you think in terms of the rules, you can be like, oh, that violates the rule there. Oh, that violates another rule there. Okay, that one's gone. And even if you can just eliminate 2 answer choices, if you've got a 50-50 shot on a tough question, those are pretty good odds. I'll take that. I'll take a 50-50 shot on a tough question. Okay. Question number 5, it's a logical order question. We're going to do logical order. I want to save that for later just because it's really time consuming and we'll probably spend half a session on it once on logical order. We'll come back to those. Okay? Let's skip ahead. Let's read the next paragraph. Let me see whose turn it is. Falaka! You there, Falaka?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and start reading that first sentence, please. Such a proposition.
Such a proposition may seem counterintuitive, but in fact, allowing employees to nap could save companies hours of lost productivity. Studies reveal that napping improves memory and boosts wakefulness for the remainder of the day.
Okay, let's now stop. There's question number 6 is right there, and it's begging us to answer it. So let's answer it. Go ahead and read question number 6.
At this point, the writer is considering adding the following sentence. Even 15-minute power naps improve alertness, creativity, and concentration. Should the writer make this addition here? Okay, good. Here's what I want to do for this one. I want to plug it in, and I want to hear it with this sentence, right? So we're going to read this. This is really a good introduction to sentence sandwich method. Super useful. So read the sentence before the sentence in question. So studies reveal that napping, right? That sentence. Then read the sentence in question, even 15-minute power naps, right? And then read the sentence after napping can also have a positive effect on mood. So 3 sentences total with the sentence in question in the middle. Does that make sense, Flocka? Yeah.
Okay, great. Go ahead and start with studies reveal, please.
Studies reveal that napping improves memory and boosts wakefulness for the remainder of the day. Even 15-minute power naps improve alertness, creativity, and concentration. Napping can also have a positive effect on mood and overall job satisfaction. While constant drowsiness reduces reaction time and hampers one's ability to concentrate. Okay, I'm going to stop you. What is your gut instinct right now, Flocka? Should we keep that? Should we add that or get rid of it? I think it goes with the second sentence.
I think it goes well too. Okay, now, and here's why I say that. If we say you think it sounds good and it should stay, then we can just focus on answer choices A and B, right? Because those are the ones that say, yes, the writer should make the addition. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, we can always change it, because if we read A and B and we don't like any of the answers there, then we can consider C and D. But if our instinct is, yeah, it should be there, then we find one that satisfies it, go with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's just a good way to kind of narrow your focus here. So I agree that it sounds pretty good. Let's read answer choice A. Loud and proud, please.
Yes, because it demonstrates the benefits of napping can be gained without sacrificing large amounts of work time.
Okay, now don't complicate this. Ask yourself a question. Does that addition demonstrate that the benefits of napping can be gained without sacrificing large amounts of work time? Does it do that?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, let's read answer choice B, though. Go and read B.
Yes, because it explains the
methodology.
Methodology of the studies mentioned in the previous sentence.
Okay. Same question, Falaka. Does this addition, does it explain the methodology of the studies mentioned in the previous sentence? Do you know what methodology means, Falaka?
Hello?
like the science behind it.
Well, what word do you see in methodology? Method, right? So it's like the study of methods, right?
Yeah.
Does that sentence in question explain the methods, right? The methods of the studies mentioned in the previous sentence?
Not specifically.
No, not at all, right? It's not the methods. It's like the conclusions, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's not the methods. So many students are going to pick B because they're like, methodology. I'm not quite sure what that means. That must be it. Don't fall for it. Okay? It's A. It's A. It doesn't explain the methodology. That's not it. And it just does answer choice A. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions about that, guys?
No.
Okay. It's really important to directly address the question and then just make sure, we're testing the answer choices here. And you can read C and D if you want. They're kind of silly. We don't need to, I would say the majority of the time your gut instincts are going to be right whether or not it should be included. Just have to see if it's just the answer choice is a true statement or not. A is true and B is not. Very simple. Okay? Any questions about that?
No.
Okay, good. Great job, Falaka. I would love to hear from Jonathan. Can you hear me, Jonathan? Jonathan is having some mic issues. Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, Jonathan. Yeah, we're good.
I might leave because it doesn't like it when I talk.
Okay, that's okay. If you need to leave and come back or whatever, or if you'd rather just listen, you can just listen. Are you having some issues when you start talking?
Yeah, we'll see if it's...
Let's try it right now, and if you have issues again in the future, don't worry. You're off the hook then the rest of the session, okay?
Okay.
Okay. No one else use that excuse, because it's a very effective excuse. Okay, so go ahead and read, beginning with employee naps.
Employee naps might also lead to reduced health care costs for companies, since regular napping leads to long-term health benefits, and it improves workers' average weekly attendance.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and read question number 6 for me, please. Or number 7, I'm sorry. Question 7.
Which choice provides a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence?
Okay, whoa. Let's stop for a minute. This is a very specific question. Okay? Super specific. Notice they're not saying, hey, which answer choice do you like the best? That's not the question. Which sounds good to you? No. The question is, which choice provides a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence? It's very specific. First, Jonathan, what's the main point of the sentence? And they're talking about the main point of the sentence, not including the underlined portion.
Regular napping leads to long-term health benefits.
Yeah, leads to reduced cost because of the long-term health benefits. Right? Reduce healthcare costs. Okay? Does that make sense? I mean, we're just restating the sentence, but that's it, right? Employee naps leads to reduced healthcare costs because of the health benefits. Okay. Now, we need a supporting example that reinforces that main point. That employee naps leads to reduce healthcare costs because of the health benefits. Okay? So read answer choice A, just the current underlined portion. Read that and see if that provides a supporting example that reinforces the main point.
And it improves workers' average weekly attendance.
Okay, Jonathan. Does that provide a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence?
Not really.
No. It doesn't. Okay, good. A is gone. Woo. All right. Go ahead and read answer choice B, please.
Including a lower risk of cardiovascular problems such as heart attack and stroke.
Okay. Jonathan, does that answer choice provide a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. It appears to. Let's keep it. Let's see if we can find something better, maybe. Go to read answer choice C.
Which are essential in an era of rising healthcare costs.
Okay. Does that provide a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence?
Yes.
What is the supporting example in answer choice C, Jonathan?
Talks about how it saves money.
What's the supporting example? What's the example though?
Regular napping leads.
No. But in answer choice C, right? So question 7 says which choice provides a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence. So we have to find a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence. I don't see an example in answer choice C. Right? It's like a clarification of the previous point, but it's not an example of anything.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Jonathan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds great. And, guys, I have a confession to make. When I first took this test, I'm ashamed to admit it, I picked answer choice C. Okay? Because I wasn't reading the question carefully. I was just reading, like, which one sounds good to you? But that's not the question. Right? Guys, you will boost your score significantly if you just answer the question being asked. Okay? Always have the question in your mind when you're reading the answer choices. Always. Make sure it addresses it. C, sounds good when you plug it in, doesn't answer the question. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, hugely important. Go ahead and read answer choice D for me, please.
I can't see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to scroll up a little bit?
Yes,
There
thank
you
you. In addition to making employees more efficient.
Okay. Does that provide a supporting example that reinforces the main point of the sentence? I'm sorry? No. What example? Right? It's like a whole other topic. So, let's go on. Okay? Let's take a look at B again. Plug in B. I want to hear the whole sentence with B plugged in.
Employee nap might also lead to reduced health care costs for companies since regular napping leads to long-term health benefits, including a lower risk of cardiovascular problems such as heart attack and stroke.
Does that provide a supporting example that reinforces the main point?
Yes.
Heck, yeah, it does. It's B. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Do you see the importance of directly addressing the question? It's huge. It's huge. And notice there's no rule here on this one. It's just do you know what the question is and you know how to answer it. So many kids are going to pick C. So many. Many of you probably would have. Because it sounds good. But it's just not which one sounds good, which one provides a supporting example. Got to answer the question. Okay? Any questions before we move?
No.
Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay. To two of you at least. I'll take it. Okay. Let's go. Maddie, can you hear me? Are you awake, Maddie?
Yes.
You're awake. Lovely. Let's read the next paragraph, please. Loud and proud. Napping at work.
Okay, napping at work has already won corporate advocates in the worlds of technology, finance, and news media, and some businesses are beginning to set aside special nap rooms.
How awesome does that sound, by the way? Special nap rooms? The correct answer is, that sounds awesome, Mr. Tui. That would be great. Keep reading, please.
Okay, a few companies such as Google have even invested in high-tech nap pods that block out light, play soothing music, and gently waking nappers.
Oh, yes, high-tech nap pod, please. I want one so bad. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. Okay. How does answer choice A sound to you again? You can read. Why don't you read the last sentence again? I'm sorry, I was being distracted. Read that last sentence for me, Maddie.
Okay, a few companies such as Google have even invested in high-tech nap pods that block out light, play soothing music, and gently waking nappers.
How's that sound to you?
Not good.
Not good, right? Not good. I agree with you. I don't like A. I'm going to get rid of it right off the bat. This doesn't sound right. Do you know, Maddie, what rule you're being tested on here?
Is it tense?
No, it's part of Make It Match.
What's the one with the ing at the end?
Yeah. That is. Does anybody know what that one is?
I don't have the rules up, but I know it's that one.
I got them up. Which one is it?
The parallel structure.
Parallel structure. Yeah. There's a pattern here. It is. What is the pattern?
It's going. Wait, it's talking about. What do you mean?
Well, you said it's parallel structure, right? There's a pattern that you have to maintain. What's the pattern?
I don't know.
Read it again.
Okay, a few companies such as Google have even invested in high-tech nap pods that block out light, playing soothing music, and gently waking nappers.
Does anybody see the pattern?
You got to make it match.
Yeah, you got to make it. We're make it match parallel structure here. But what's the pattern? What is there's something repetitive here.
Well, it's talking about when it says gently waking. That doesn't fit because it's talking about it doesn't have the ing at the end of block.
Exactly right. So here's the deal, guys. The subject here, we're talking about high-tech nap pods that do something. All right, these high-tech nap pods block out light, play soothing music, and gently, something.
Gently wake.
Gently wake. Gently wake. Look at the answer choices, guys.
B.
Right? It's B. It's B. Right? All of these verbs here, block and play are present tense plural, right? The nap pods block out light, play soothing music. So we need present tense plural. They gently wake nappers. Not waking, not to wake, not the waking of. Right? Just wake. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Whenever you see repetitive patterns like that, just stick with the pattern, and you'll be good. Okay? Great job, Maddie. Great job. Okay. Who is next? I'm just going down the line here. Renata. You there, Renata?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Let's read the next paragraph here. Zephyrin Lasker.
Zephyrin Lasker, CEO of the mobile advertising firm Pontiflex, has observed that employees are happier and more productive since he created a nap room in the company's Brooklyn headquarters. Ryan Hudson of Kodiak Capital Group and Ariana Huffington of the Huffington Post Media Group have promoted napping throughout their workers and have been effusive about the results.
Yeah, effusive. Effusive is, does anyone know what effusive means? It just means they've been real happy, real excited about the results. This is where, at this point, guys, when you see a word you don't know and you're doing the homework, look up a word. You use this as an opportunity to boost your vocab as you're doing these writing and language tests, okay? I know you won't have this, you won't have a dictionary handy when you're taking the actual test, but and later you'll do work without, access to a dictionary. But right now, we're not even doing timed work right now. Let's just take this as an opportunity, not just to boost your understanding of the rules, but boost your vocab. Okay? So commit to that. Okay, Renata, what do you think about answer choice A?
It's number 9, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't. It doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't, does it? I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't like it. You know what rule we're being tested on here? This one's. It's just vocab. It's choosing the right word in context. It's just conventions of English here. There's not a great rule for this one. Yeah, I don't like A. Why don't you just? I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's plug in the answer choices, Renata. And we'll test them all. Okay. I don't like A. Let's get rid of it. Go ahead and read B.
Okay. Ryan Hodgson of Kodiak Capital Group and Ariana Huffington of the Huffington Post Media Group have promoted napping among their workers and have been effusive about the results.
How's that?
I like that.
That's not too bad. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's read answer choice C.
Okay. Ryan Hodgson of Kodiak Capital Group and Ariana Huffington of the Huffington Post Media Group have promoted napping between their workers and have been effusive about the results.
How does that sound to you, Renata?
Not right.
No, that sounds like not right, like not even morally right, right? That sounds like mildly inappropriate. Yeah, it's answer choice C is gone. Wait to read answer choice D. Go ahead and read answer choice D for me, please.
Ryan Hudson of Kodiak Capital Group and Ariana Huffington of the Huffington Post Media Group have promoted napping into their workers and have been effusive about the results.
How's that?
No.
No, that is wrong on more than one level. I think they get bored writing the answer choices sometimes, and I'm not joking. I really think they do. Yeah, D is bad. It's definitely B, okay? And that's a great example. Sometimes, like, what rule is it? Not real certain. Just test them. Plug them in and hear them.
Okay.
And your instincts are generally going to be pretty good. But we didn't even have to be like, oh, it's definitely B. When we read B, we're like, okay, that's good. Let's test the others. And once you could eliminate all the others, then we knew for sure B was right. Okay, great job there. In light of the benefits, let's go with Drew.
Yes.
Drew. Read the next, please. In light of the benefits.
In light of the benefits, not only to employees' efficiency and again to their health and sense of well-being, these executives' enthusiasm is not surprising.
Drew, do you know what rule they're testing us on here?
I don't have it up, but it's I forgot.
It's a part of Make It Match here, actually. Does anybody know what rule? Anybody catch it?
Is it the not only but also?
It's Make It Match not only but also. Is that you, Drew? Or is that Jonathan? Jonathan. Good job, Jonathan. Yeah, it's not only but also. Right? We see not only right here, right? You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
You guys see my cursor like scooching around?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. We see not only, it's got to be followed by some form of but also. It's got to. What's the right answer choice here, Drew? Look at the answer choices.
Also to their health.
Yeah, you see that? Answer choice D?
D.
That's it, buddy. It's answer choice D. Plug it in. I want to hear it in the sentence.
In light of the benefits not only to employees' efficiency, but also to their health and sense of well-being, these executives' enthusiasm is not surprising.
How's that sound to you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Works, right? Plug in. I want to hear. Try one of the others. Try B. I want to hear it.
In light of the benefits not only to employees' efficiency, but it benefits their health and sense of well-being, these executives' enthusiasm is not surprising.
How's that sound to you guys?
Not very good.
Not good. I know you know it's not right, but like it doesn't sound right either, does it? Right? And that's where like even if you're not sure about the exact rule, man, sound these things out in your head, right? Obviously you can't like talk out loud in the middle of the test, right? But you've got to sound it out in your head. And answer choices that just don't sound right probably aren't. Probably aren't. There's something probably wrong with it. Your gut knows things your brain doesn't always know. So start learning to trust that. Hugely important. All right. Great job there, Drew. Let's go to William. William, read please. Question number 11.
These executives are among the most successful leaders in their respective fields.
Okay, and then read the question, please.
The writer wants a concluding sentence that restates the main argument of the passage. Which choice best accomplishes this goal?
Okay. Now hold on. It's a specific question again. Okay, William, what is the question it's asking us to do?
Well, it's restating the main argument of the passage.
We got to restate the main argument of the passage. Okay, now stop. Before we even read the answer choices, tell me, William, what is the main argument of the passage?
That workers should be able to nap when they feel like it, when they need to.
Yeah, workers should nap on the job. Okay, good. And if you're uncertain about that, this is a good example of like going back to like the title of the passage, right? A nod to nodding off. Maybe rereading the first paragraph, right? Although here, I don't think they really get into the main point. It's really until the second paragraph. So be on the lookout for that. But certainly by the second paragraph, we got a thesis. Let's go ahead and read the answer choices. What did you say the main point was again?
It was that workers should be able to nap.
Yeah.
On the job.
Great. I love it. All right, so let's test the answer choice now. Go ahead and read the answer choice A for me, please.
There's no change. These executives are among the most successful leaders in their respective fields.
How's that? Does that restate the main argument of the passage?
No, it doesn't.
9. Which is no in German. I don't know why I said that. Go ahead. Yes, B. Go ahead.
Clearly, employers should consider reducing employees' hours when they are overworked.
How's that? Does that restate the main argument of the passage?
Nope.
No, man, it doesn't. Now, it's tempting here. You know, some students fall for this one. But why is it wrong? Guys, why is it wrong? B. Why is it wrong?
It doesn't have to do with, like, the main idea.
Yeah, what's the main idea?
The benefits of napping.
Benefits of napping. Yeah, it doesn't directly address napping. Like, loosely related, but it doesn't directly address napping. So, no way. B's gone. Go ahead and read C for me, please, William.
Companies should consider employee schedules carefully when implementing a napping policy.
William, does that restate the main argument of the passage?
Yes.
Sounds pretty good, right? Sounds pretty good.
Yes.
Let's read answer choice D.
More businesses should follow their lead and embrace napping on the job.
Does that restate the main argument of the passage?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably the best out of them.
Which is better, C or D?
I would say D.
What do you guys think, C or D?
D.
Anybody else? C or D? Take a stand. Be wrong. I don't mind. Somebody try. C or D?
D.
Yeah, I would go with D. What's wrong with C?
It's focusing on schedules.
Yeah, it's about schedules, right? And that's not the main point of the passage. It's about napping. So C is definitely gone. It's tricky, right? But you see, that's not on topic. It doesn't restate the main argument of the passage. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, honestly, the writing section is like, I mean, either they're testing you on a rule or they're testing you on your ability to, like, just think clearly and directly answer a question. That's it. All right? That's it. Any questions about that first passage? We've just finished a passage.
No.
No? We're good.
No.
Do you guys see how, unless they're asking a real specific question, there's probably a rule from the rules for writing they're testing you on? Do we see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you're going over these, have the rules handy, and always think in terms, okay, what rule number are they testing me on for this one? Let's move ahead to the next passage. The more work we do here, the less homework we have. So let's read the next passage here. Vanishing honeybees. William, you just finished one of the questions. We're back to Sharon. Sharon, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, great. We are going to go to, we're on the next passage here, Vanishing Honeybees. Can you see that up on the screen?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, great. Go ahead and read that, including the title, and we'll answer the first question that comes up. You guys are doing great, by the way. Thank you so much for your participation.
Vanishing honeybees, a threat to global agriculture. Honeybees play an important role in the agriculture industry by pollinating crops. An October 2006 study found that as much as 1/3 of global agriculture depends on animal population.
Pollination. Mm-hmm.
Pollination, sorry.
You're good.
Including honeybee
Pollination.
to increase crop output.
Okay, good. Really good. Okay. What rule are they testing us on here for question number 12? Sharon, do you know?
Grammar? No, punctuation.
Yeah, definitely punctuation, right? We've got like an M dash in there, we've got a colon, we've got a comma, and a semicolon. It's like all of them in the same question here, okay? Let's think in terms again of eliminating obviously incorrect answer choices. Okay? Sharon, take a look at the answer choices. Are there any answer choices that you think you can easily eliminate that are incorrect, or we can easily test at least?
I think B sounds weird.
Which one?
B.
B? Yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in. I want to hear it.
Okay. Where do you want me to start, or do you want me to?
Yeah, start reading the whole sentence.
Okay. Honeybees play an important role in the
Or
agriculture.
yeah, just jump to October 2006.
A study found that as much as 1/3 of global agriculture depends on animal pollination, including honeybee pollination. This is to increase crop output.
Yeah, that does sound weird, doesn't it? I don't like it. Let's go to the rules for colons, okay? Let's go to the rule for colons. Okay. Do you guys see the rules up on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sharon, go ahead and read the rule for colons, please.
Okay. Colons introduce a list, explanation, or description. It will appear in this order: things to be listed, explained, described, the colon, and lastly, list, explanation, descriptions.
Okay, so it's going to be the thing to be listed, explained, described, the colon, and then the list, explanation, or description. Do we see... Okay, so we're going to have to see... Okay, so honeybee pollination, and then colon. Is there a description or an explanation of honeybee pollination?
No.
Not really. That's not good use of the colon. That's just not. that make sense, guys? Why that's not good use of the colon?
Yeah.
It just doesn't follow the rule. It's got to follow that order, so it's gone. And because we can eliminate B, I know another one we can probably also eliminate. Sharon, which other one can we eliminate? Because B doesn't work.
Probably D.
We're going to test D in just a minute, but there's one. Remember the M dash?
Yes.
Anywhere you can use a colon, you can also use an M dash.
Oh, yeah.
And I see the same issue with answer choice A. Do you see that?
Yes.
Everybody else, guys, do you see that? The issue with A?
Yeah.
If you can't use a colon there, I know the wording is slightly different, but it's the same problem. It's just not an explanation or description of honeybee pollination. So it's just not the right use of the M dash or the colon. So A is gone as well. Let's test answer choice D, okay? And there's a semicolon there. Sharon, when do we use semicolons?
Whenever it's like the two, at the end of like a sentence.
Two complete thoughts, like two sentences. Do we have two complete standalone thoughts here?
No.
No, right? You plug it in, it's to increase crop output. This is not a complete thought. It's gone. D's gone. Okay. C looks pretty good. Let's plug it in. I want to hear it. I want to confirm it. Okay. Sharon, can you go ahead and read answer choice? Plug in. Read the sentence and plug in answer choice C.
Okay. In October 2006 study found that as much as 1/3 of global agriculture depends on animal pollination, including honeybee pollination, to increase crop output.
How does that sound? Guys, how does that sound to you?
Good.
Sounds good, right? All you need is a brief pause there, right? You just need a brief pause, and that's all. The comma works just fine. So, good. Any questions about number 12?
No.
No? And again, we see the power of the elimination method. Guys, I'm telling you, like, you don't even have to know what the right answer is ever if you know what the wrong answers are. So, do it. Do it. All right. Great job, Sharon. Guys, I'm super impressed. You guys are catching on fast. Very fast. All right, Flocka, your turn.
Okay.
Go ahead and read. So it's the importance of bees.
The importance of bees highlights the potentially disastrous effects of an emerging, unexplained crisis. Entire colonies of honeybees are dying off without warning.
By the way, before we jump into number 13, we see a really good use of the colon here. Okay, it's the disastrous effects of an emerging, unexplained crisis. Then the colon, and then the disastrous effects of the emerging, unexplained crisis. Right, entire colonies of honeybees are dying off without warning. Do we see that, guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's good use of the colon. Follows all the rules. Okay, and here's the nice thing too: if you forget when you can use a colon and when you can, or when you can use an M dash or when you can't, we know this is right use of the colon because it's not underlined. Right? It's proper use. So you can use the test to remember like what proper use of punctuation is, because you're going to see proper examples of punctuation use all over the writing and language section. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just in case you ever forget it, okay? So, anyway, that's good use of the colon there. Let's go back to 13, though. What rule are we being tested on here, Flocka, on question number 13?
Choose the right word in context.
I wouldn't say here. I mean, in a sense, yes. In a sense, every question is choose the right word in context, in a sense. But I think there's another rule we're being tested on here. Look at the answer choices. Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back. I take it back. Flocka, you are 100% right. I was looking at... There's actually two rules we're being tested on here. You are right. We are being tested. Let's start there. On choose the right word in context. Which part were you referring to?
The end of the sentence.
Exactly. Effects and effects, right? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. So which form do we need here? Do we need the verb form or the noun form?
The verb.
Read the sentence for me.
The importance of bees highlights the potentially disastrous effects of an emerging, unexplained crisis.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. Is effects here, is that an action, or is that a verb, or is that a thing?
A thing.
It's a thing, right? The potentially disastrous effects.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Do you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ask yourself that question. Okay, does it need to be a verb, or does it need to be a thing here? That's a thing. Okay, so already we should be able to eliminate 2 of the incorrect answer choices. What answer choices can we eliminate? Because now that we know it's a thing and not an action. Remember, it's A for action.
We can eliminate B and C.
I would disagree.
Or A and D.
It's the opposite, right? We can eliminate A and D, right? Remember, because it's A for action. And we don't want the A form, because we don't need an action here. We need the thing. We're talking about the potentially disastrous effects. The effects are a thing.
Yeah.
Here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little bit tricky, but yeah. But guys, does it make sense? Everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No questions about that? Okay. A for action. Keep that in mind. Okay. So it's A and D. Now it's B and C. Now, how are B and C different?
Highlights and highlights.
Yeah, highlights and highlights. So guess what rule we're being tested on here?
Numbers.
Yes, it's make it match number. Make it match number. Okay, now, so we got to find the subject of the sentence, Falaka. Who or what is doing the highlighting?
Bees.
Incorrect. Incorrect. It's not the bees. Look at this here. That is a prepositional phrase. Of bees is a prepositional phrase. Of is a preposition. It's one of the most common prepositions. And the subject is never going to be in a prepositional phrase.
Okay.
Okay? So what's the subject? Take a guess now.
The importance.
The importance. The importance. That's tough. That's really tough. But it's true. The importance. No, what importance? The importance of bees. Okay? Now,
Yeah.
Flocka, is importance singular or plural?
Singular.
It's singular. Yeah, I don't even think there's a plural form of importance. It's like the importances would not be. I don't think you can. It's like justice or something like or like I don't know. Yeah, it's just there's not. I don't think there'd be a plural form of that. It's just the importance. So so we need a singular form of the verb to highlight. How do we find the singular form, Falaka? How do we test it?
They and it.
They and it. Yeah. So we need a single one. So we're gonna go with it. So let's test the answer choices with it.
Okay. The importance of bees. It highlights.
Yeah. How's that sound? It highlights.
It doesn't sound good.
Okay, let's try answer choice C.
The importance of bees. They highlight. The
Oh no. We're still we know we need the singular form. So I would just say so it's going to be it. So test is it highlights or it highlight?
Okay. The importance of bees. It highlight.
Yeah, I would just don't even worry about this the rest of the sentence. Just say it highlights or it highlight.
Okay.
Which is better, Flocka? It highlights or it highlight?
It highlights.
It highlights with an S. Yeah. Right? You don't say it highlight. It highlights. It's answer choice B.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 rules they're testing us on. 2 of them. That's tough. All right? And most students, Falaka, by the way, most students think bees is the correct answer, or bees is the subject. It's not. Does it make sense why the bees aren't highlighting the potential disaster effects? It's the importance of bees that highlights. It highlights. Okay? Go ahead and plug in answer choice B. I want to hear it all together now, Falaka.
Okay. The importance of bees highlights the potentially disastrous effects of an emerging unexplained crisis.
Okay, great. That's great. Great. How does that sound?
It sounds good.
It sounds good, right? That's it. That's tricky, huh? Be on the lookout for more than one answer choice. That was clearly the case here at number 13. Okay. Good job, Falaka. All right, let's go to Jonathan. Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think it messed up the audio the last time. I think we're good. So go ahead and read the next sentence, and we'll answer question number 14. They know it as. Go ahead and read that.
They know it as colony collapse disorder, CCD. This phenomenon will have a detrimental impact on global agriculture if its causes and solutions are not determined.
Okay, good. Jonathan, what do you think about the online portion? Answer choice A here.
No. Because
What's wrong with it?
They know it as colony.
Yeah,
collapse.
what's wrong with that?
Sounds bad.
I agree with you. It sounds bad. Do you know what's wrong with it specifically?
No.
Does anybody know what's wrong with that specifically?
It doesn't say who's they.
Yeah, who's they? right? Who's they? That's really weird, especially at the beginning of a paragraph like that. It's just not referencing anyone specifically. That's just bad. There's another issue with answer choice A as well, right? That's enough to eliminate it. A violates the comma rule. Now you might be like, there's no comma in there. No, but there's a comma in the sentence right here. And if you go with answer choice A, you've got two independent standalone thoughts connected by a comma. All right, check it out. Let me read the first part. They know it as colony collapse disorder. Period. Right? That can stand alone. You got a subject and a verb. I'll read the second part. This phenomenon will have a detrimental impact on a global agriculture if its causes and solutions are not determined. Second standalone thought, connected by a comma. That ain't right. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even if you don't see a comma in the underlined portion, which we don't here, they're still testing you on the comma rule. Be on the lookout for that. Okay? Be on the lookout for that. A is gone. Okay. Let's plug in the other answer choices. Plug in A, or B. Let me hear B, Jonathan.
Known as colony collapse disorder, this phenomenon will have a detrimental impact on global agriculture if its causes and solutions are not determined.
How's that?
That's better.
It's better. Okay, let's read the other answer choices.
It is known as colony collapse disorder. This phenomenon will have a detrimental impact on global agriculture if its causes and solutions are not determined.
How's that, Jonathan?
That doesn't sound good.
What's wrong with that?
Is it the same thing as last time? It's a
Booyah! Jonathan, great. You caught it. Guys, did you catch that?
yeah.
Two standalone statements connected by a comma. If you go with answer choice C. It is known as colony collapse disorder. Period. Standalone thought. And the second part we know is still a standalone thought. It can't be answer choice C. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I see it tested a lot. And this is where you've got to read the sentences as written, guys. A comma is just a brief pause. Okay? If you take it as a longer pause, it's going to sound okay. You're not going to catch it. If you take it like you would take it with a period. It would have to read like this. It is known as colony collapse disorder. This phenomenon will have, it's got to be a brief pause. And when you take a brief pause, it doesn't sound right. Okay? Go ahead and try answer choice D.
Colony collapse disorder. This phenomenon will have a detrimental impact on global agriculture if its causes and solutions are not determined.
How's that?
That doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good. I don't even can tell you like exactly the rule. It just sounds bad. It's not right. That's B. In a sense, this is actually also misplaced proper use of a modifying phrase, right? Because this statement here, known as colony collapse disorder, that's a modifying phrase modifying the phenomenon. Okay? And that's just good use of a modifier. Okay? But really, the biggest thing to test you on here is the comma rule. If there's no comma in the underlined portion. Okay? Any questions about that, guys? No?
No.
Okay. Let's do a couple more. Okay? You guys have a couple more minutes?
Yeah.
If anybody needs to go, you can go. By the way, I'll have the homework sent. Whatever email I've been using to correspond, mostly with your parents, but if I've been corresponding with you, the homework will be in that email. We'll probably just finish this PSAT test and leave it there. But okay, go ahead. Let's go to the next question. Whose turn is it? Maddie. Can you hear me, Maddie?
Yes.
Great. Let's go to the next one. Since the emergence.
Okay. Since the emergence of CCD around 2006, bee mortality rates have exceeded 25% of the population each winter.
Ooh. Okay, and I read question number 15.
Which choice offers the most accurate interpretation of the data in the chart?
What? The chart? Oh, yeah. Here's the chart. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to have to do some graph analysis here. Okay, Maddie? Let's do the graph analysis, you and me, right now. Okay? All right, so if you look at the rules for writing, I say always... Okay, let's go to the rules for writing real quick. Always start.
Read the title.
Yes, you're going to read the title. Right, read the title, the Y and X axis, and then the key, and then lastly, look at the data. Okay? So let's do that. Go and read the title for me, please, Maddie.
It says, manage honeybee colony loses in the U.S.?
Yeah, losses, right?
Oh, sorry.
Losses, right? And what does that mean? Manage honeybee colony losses. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Any ideas, guys, what that might mean?
They're dying out.
They're dying, right? The entire colonies are dying. So we're talking about what percentage of the colonies died, I guess. Okay. Let's look at the y-axis now, going up and down. Go ahead and read that for me, Maddie.
Percent total colony winter loss.
Okay. And then look at the ranges here. It ranges from 0% to 40%. Then look at the x-axis here.
Winter seasons, and it goes from 2006 to 2013.
Yeah, right. And then 2006, 2013, and then each because winter right goes over 2, right? It's the late months of the year and the early months of the next year, so that's why. But that's one winter for each of those set of dates. Okay. Now, is there a key?
No.
No, I don't see a key. Go ahead and read that. There's a little bit at the very bottom. Can you read that for me? Adapted from?
Yeah. Adapted from Dennis Van Engelsdorp.
Yeah.
Preliminary.
Uh-huh.
Results: honeybee colony losses in the United States, winter 2012-2013.
Okay. By the Bee Informed Partnership. Okay, great. Okay, and then anything else, any other information before we look at the data?
It just says acceptable range.
Yes, acceptable range, right? And the acceptable range is, I guess, 15% or below, right? We see that? Now let's look at the data. Lastly, look at the data. Do you see any trends or any conclusions that you could draw, Maddie?
I mean, it just keeps going up and down.
Yeah, right? It's kind of a mix. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Anyone else? Any trends or conclusions we can draw?
All above acceptable range.
All of them, all the dates are above the acceptable range. It does vary, but every single year it's above the acceptable range. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Any questions about that?
No.
Okay, good. Let's go back to the question now. Okay. This is much easier, by the way, with like a printed off copy, right? There's no need to print off all these pages, but I'm just letting you know on the actual, if you prefer to print these off and do the work because you don't like flipping back or trying to scroll back and forth on the computer, feel free to print them off. All right, read question number 15 for me again, please, Matt.
Which choice offers the most accurate interpretation of the data in the chart?
Okay, let's just plug in the answer choices and we'll test each one, okay? Read answer choice A again.
Wait, no change?
Yeah, so just read the whole sentence by plugging in. Just read the whole sentence with the underlined portion. Yeah.
Wait, what do I plug in? I don't understand.
Yeah, you're plugging in. You're testing the answer choices, but because no change is the underlined portion, you're just rereading the current sentence with the underlined portion since the emergence. Read since the emergence of CC. Read that sentence as it is.
Wait, I don't understand. Where are you saying that? Or where are you saying that?
Do you see where I am right here? Since the emergence of CCD?
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Since the emergence of CCD around 2006, bee mortality rates have exceeded 25% of the population each winter.
Okay. Does that offer an accurate interpretation of the data in the chart?
No.
No.
No. Why not?
2011-2012 was below.
Yeah, it's below here, right? The statement says they've exceeded 25%, and they haven't right here. It's been below. So, no. A is gone. Okay? Any questions about that?
No.
All right, go ahead and read B for me. Read the whole sentence, plugging in B.
Since the emergence of CCD around 2006, bee mortality rates have been above the acceptable range.
Okay. Does that offer an accurate interpretation of the chart?
Yes.
Yeah, that does. Okay, that looks pretty good. Boy, that looks good. Read the others real quick.
Since the emergence of CCD around 2006, bee mortality rates have not changed noticeably from year to year.
Is that an accurate interpretation of the data?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Yeah, not. I mean, it has changed, right? It's gone up and down, like you said.
Some. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's still
yeah,
some.
yeah, C's gone. And then D.
Since the emergence of CCD around 2006, bee mortality rates have greatly increased every year.
Does that offer an accurate interpretation of the data in the chart?
No.
No, that's silly. Right. D's gone. It's B. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
No.
They love. I mean, it's almost like a math or science test. Sometimes you got to really interpret graphs properly. Okay. All right. Your homework, guys, is going to be. Here we go. And I'm gonna stop presenting. There we go. People again. Oh yes, I'm not just teaching a test. I'm teaching people. All right. So can you guys see me and hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Good. So your homework is going to be to finish that practice test. Okay. The writing section. So I think it goes all the way through questions 44. So do 15 through. Actually, I recommend. Why don't you redo the ones even that we did, just to kind of get warmed up again. So redo questions questions 1 through 44. And that's PSAT practice test number 1. Okay. And then for each answer, for each question, identify the rule for writing that applies. Okay? Identify the rule for writing that applies. All right? And you can just say, like, oh, it's rule number 3, you know. But if it's like make it match, be like make it match number, or make it match style and tone, you know. Be as specific as you can. You don't have to recopy the rule, but just tell me specifically which rule it is. Okay? And then be aware, some of the questions won't have like a great rule. Like if it's a real specific question, it's just directly addressing the question. And if you want to put that, please put that. Please put directly address the question. Right? That's fine. Okay? But if it's a grammar rule, identify the grammar rule. Any questions about that?
No.
No? Okay. Any comments? Complaints? Anything? No? Okay, good. Was this helpful, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm telling you, like, this is where students that focus on this, they always see a fast and pretty good score increase if they follow the rules. So make sure you do the homework. You've got to do the homework. You've got to practice these things on your own. And we'll just pick up here. What I want you to do also, I'm going to send you guys a scoring key. Okay, also, so after you've taken the test, I want you to score it after. Okay? And then so we can go over some of the questions that you got wrong, so you'll know before we meet next kind of how you did and where you're at. Don't beat yourself up if you got a bunch wrong. We're just starting, and this is just practice. Okay? But as long as you're learning as we go along and learn the rules, that's the most important thing. Okay? All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have questions anytime, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But I look forward to seeing you all again next Thursday, 5 to 7, okay? All right. Take care of y'all. Great job today. Appreciate your hard work, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Take care.